We need to have an honest conversation about eggs and sustainability because the answers aren't as simple as good or bad. The environmental and ethical implications of egg production vary dramatically depending on how those eggs were produced. And understanding these differences matters if you care about your food's impact beyond your personal health. Let's start with some encouraging news. Among animal proteins, eggs are relatively sustainable. They generate roughly 50% lower greenhouse gas emissions than beef per gram of protein. Chickens convert feed to edible protein more efficiently than cattle, pigs, or even chicken raised for meat. They require less land and water than most livestock. If you're trying to reduce your environmental footprint but aren't ready to eliminate animal products entirely, eggs represent a reasonable middle ground, at least compared to red meat. But here's where we need to introduce some important nuance. Not all eggs carry the same environmental footprint. A pasture-raised egg from a local regenerative farm has a fundamentally different impact than a conventional egg from an industrial facility housing hundreds of thousands of hens. These aren't minor variations. We're talking about completely different agricultural systems. Conventional egg operations raise legitimate environmental concerns. High-density housing creates massive waste management challenges. Concentrated chicken manure can contaminate groundwater and release ammonia into the atmosphere. The monoculture corn and soy grown to feed these chickens contributes to soil degradation, pesticide use, and ecosystem simplification. These operations are efficient at producing cheap eggs, but that efficiency comes with environmental costs that aren't reflected in the price tag. Contrast this with regenerative egg farming, where chickens integrate into diverse agricultural systems. These birds control pests, reducing pesticide needs. They fertilize pastures naturally, eliminating synthetic fertilizer requirements. They consume farm scraps and forage for insects, reducing feed inputs. Some regenerative farms report actually building soil health through chicken integration, sequestering carbon rather than releasing it. This isn't theoretical. Well-managed pasture-based systems can be genuinely regenerative. The ethical dimensions require equal consideration. Conventional cage operations, thankfully being phased out in many regions, represent some of the worst animal welfare conditions in agriculture. Even cage-free operations often house tens of thousands of birds in crowded indoor facilities with minimal outdoor access. The industry standard involves killing male chicks shortly after hatching, since they can't lay eggs and aren't the breeds used for meat production. These practices trouble many consumers, rightfully so. Pasture-raised and certified humane operations offer dramatically different welfare conditions. Birds have genuine outdoor access, space to express natural behaviors, and better living conditions overall. Emerging technologies like ovovsexing, determining sex before hatching, could eliminate male chick culling. These improvements come at higher costs, reflected in premium egg prices. So, what should you actually do with this information? If sustainability and ethics matter to you, prioritize pasture-raised eggs from local farms when possible. Visit farms if you can see the conditions yourself. Support certified humane labels that maintain meaningful standards. Consider that paying double for eggs from better systems still makes eggs one of your more affordable proteins. But let's be realistic about scale and access. Pasture-raised eggs aren't available or affordable for everyone. If conventional eggs are your only option, they still represent a more sustainable protein choice than beef or pork. The perfect shouldn't be the enemy of the good. Some people are exploring backyard chickens where feasible. 4 to 6 hens can provide eggs for a family, consume kitchen scraps, and provide genuine connection to food production. This isn't practical for apartment dwellers or those with restrictive ordinances, but it's worth considering if your situation allows it. The future may bring additional options. Plant-based alternatives continue improving, though they currently cost more and lack some nutritional benefits of eggs. Cellular agriculture, growing egg proteins without chickens, remains experimental but could eventually provide eggs without the environmental and ethical concerns of animal agriculture. For now, the most responsible approach involves conscious choices within your constraints. Buy the most sustainable, ethical eggs you can afford and access. Reduce overall animal product consumption if sustainability concerns you. Eating fewer, better eggs makes more impact than eating many cheap ones. Support policy changes and agricultural innovations moving toward more sustainable systems. And recognize that your egg choices, multiplied across millions of consumers, genuinely influence how eggs are produced.